Hello friends! Need some pointers on building user interfaces in Godot? Follow along with these videos as we build a title screen. This is a free preview of a course on how to use control nodes in Godot. In the previous lesson, we added a theme type variation to give some nodes a consistent theme that differs from that of other nodes of the same type. In this lesson, we'll add a basic background for our main game. Normally games would have a different scene for the title screen and the main game, but in this project we're doing everything in one scene. By default, the background is just gray. If you want to use an image for your background, you would use a texture rec node to draw it. I don't want just a simple image, so let's start by adding a new node to our scene, this time a panel node, and rename it Game. Panels don't really do anything more than a standard control node, except that they also draw a style box. Let's set its anchors to full rect so it covers the entire window. The default style box for a panel is the same as a button, just a semi-transparent black rectangle with rounded corners. Before importing the image for my panel, I'll create a new asset folder for styles and another one inside that for button. Then move all of my button styles into that folder. Then another folder for panels, and I'll have that folder selected when importing the panel style textures. Selecting the root node so we can see the theme editor, let's add panel to the theme. Panels have only one theme property, their style box. The same options are available for the panel as there were for buttons: empty, line, flat, or texture. Let's use a style box texture, then click on it to open it in the inspector, and assign the texture as one that was imported. With the default settings, the texture is stretched to fit the size of the panel, which doesn't look very good. Switching the axis stretch property to tile, the image will be tiled instead of stretched to fill the allotted space. Using tile fit will do both tiling and stretching in such a way that the entire region is covered with whole tiles instead of fractions. This image is a little too busy, it might be too distracting, so I'll use the rope border image instead. If we add some texture margins, the image will be sliced into 9 different textures that will be used to build the style box, with the corners retaining their exact pixel dimensions, the edges being stretched or tiled to connect the corners, and the center being stretched or tiled to fill the remaining area. Now that we have a basic background for our game window, we would need to have it hidden by default when the game first runs so we can see the title screen, which we can do by clicking on the eye icon beside it in the scene tree. But since we will spend most of our time developing the game editing the contents of this panel, it would be better if this were visible to us and the title screen was hidden instead. So we want to swap the game node with the title screen node, making the game node the scene's root node. Right-clicking on the game node, select the option Make Scene Root. The game node is now the root node, with the title screen as a child of it, so the title screen is originally drawn over the game. To switch from the title screen to the main game, all we need to do is hide the title screen by turning off its visibility. However, now the panel theme is no longer being applied to the panel node, since the theme is a property of the title screen. It will only affect the title screen and its children. With the title screen selected, expanding the theme section, we can click on the arrow beside the theme and save it as a project resource. I'll just leave it in the project's resource folder and name it after the font, Tradewinds. This theme is now saved in our project's resource folder. So we can select the game node, expand the theme section, and use the drop-down to load this theme. Now the theme is being applied to the entire project like before, since it is a property of the root node. We can also remove it from the title screen node since it is being inherited through the scene tree anyway. Next, we'll need to attach a script to the game node, either by selecting it and clicking on the Attach Script button, or right-clicking on the node and selecting Attach Script. We'll name this script the Game Manager, and create a new folder to hold all of our project scripts. Then create the script in that folder. The script will be written in GDScript and inherit from panel, the type of the node it is being attached to. This automatically switches our view to script view and opens the script we just created. This script only needs to turn the visibility of the title screen on or off. To do that, we'll need a reference to the title screen node. Right-clicking on the title screen node, we can access this as a unique name, as long as no other node in the scene tree has the same name, which will be indicated with a %sign. Then clicking and dragging this node into the script, holding down the Control or Command key while releasing the mouse, we will store a reference to this node in a variable. I'll precede the name of the variable with an underscore to mark it as private, meaning it is only meant to be used by this script. Overriding the ready function, the blue arrow icon beside the function tells us that this function is overriding the definition provided in the node class. This function is called when the node and all of its children are ready. We can tell the title screen to show itself. Selecting the Start button, we can switch the Inspector panel to the Node panel, which gives us a list of all the signals this node can emit. The signal we want to react to is the pressed signal, which will be emitted when the button is pressed. Double-clicking on the signal, or right-clicking and selecting Connect, we can connect this to the Game node, which will automatically generate a new function for us, onStartPressed. The green connection icon to the left of this function tells us that a signal connection will call this function. When the Start button is pressed, we will tell the title screen to hide. Running the game, the title screen is shown, and when we click the Start button, it hides, revealing the game panel underneath. We now have a background for our game window. In the next lesson, we'll add a fade transition. If you want to enroll in this or any of my courses, they're all available on my Patreon. You can also find them on Udemy and Skillshare. I have a Discord server for my followers and students to help each other out. All are linked below. I'll see you in the next video.